were not born to be comfortable. That statement alone should shake something inside you. Because the moment you understand that comfort was never the promise, everything changes. Your entire life has been a fight between who you were designed to be and who the world told you to become. And most of you lost that fight before you even knew it was happening. Let me tell you something that will disturb you. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's living without ever discovering why you were born. You can have a heartbeat and still be dead. You can have breath in your lungs and still be buried. There are people walking around right now who died 20 years ago. They just haven't had the funeral yet. Your mind is the most powerful thing you will ever own. Not your money, not your looks, not your connections, your mind. And yet most people treat their minds like a garbage dump. They let anyone throw anything in there. They consume poison and call it entertainment. They listen to fools and call it advice. They think small thoughts and wonder why their life feels small. You want to know why people are afraid of you when you build a strong mind? Because a strong mind cannot be controlled. A strong mind cannot be manipulated. A strong mind sees through lies, rejects mediocrity, and refuses to settle. And this world is built on control. This system needs you weak. It needs you distracted. It needs you broke, confused, and comparing yourself to people who are just as lost as you are. Stop it. Stop living like you're a mistake. Stop acting like you're here by accident. There are no accidents in purpose. You are not random. Your existence is intentional. Every single thing about you was designed with precision. Your fingerprints are unique. Your DNA is unrepeatable. Even your voice has a frequency that belongs only to you. You think that happened by chance? You think the universe just rolled dice and you showed up? No, you are here because something in you is needed. Something in you is the answer to a problem on this earth. But you will never discover it if you keep thinking like everyone else. You will never find it if you keep following the crowd. The crowd is lost. The majority is confused. Popularity is not the same as purpose. Let me tell you about the lion. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. Do you know why? Because the lion knows who he is. He doesn't need validation. He doesn't need approval. He doesn't check to see if the sheep like him before he walks into his destiny. The lion wakes up knowing his assignment. He's the king. Not because someone voted for him. Not because he compared himself to other animals and won. He's the king because that's what he was born to be. But you know what's sad? Most people are lions living like sheep. They have the roar, but they're making bleating sounds. They have the strength, but they're running from their own shadow. They were built to dominate, but they're begging for permission to exist. You need to understand something. Your mind is a kingdom, and every kingdom needs a king. Right now, who's sitting on the throne of your mind? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it past mistakes? Is it other people's voices? Because whoever controls the throne controls the kingdom. And if you don't take control of your own mind, someone else will. They'll tell you what to think. They'll tell you what to want. They'll tell you what success looks like. And before you know it, you'll be chasing dreams that aren't even yours. You'll be climbing ladders that are leaning against the wrong buildings. You'll get to the top and realize you wasted your life pursuing someone else's definition of winning. That's not strength. That's slavery. Building a strong mind means you decide what you believe. You decide what you accept. You decide what you tolerate. You decide where your focus goes. Because where your focus goes, your energy flows. And where your energy flows, your life grows. Most people's minds are like a garden that nobody tends. Weeds everywhere, thorns, poison, and they wonder why their life doesn't bloom. You can't plant negativity and expect to harvest joy. You can't feed your mind garbage and expect to think clearly. You can't surround yourself with small thinkers and expect to have big visions. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Show me what you watch and I'll tell you what you'll become. Show me what you think about when you're alone and I'll tell you where you're going. Your thoughts are seeds. Every single thought is a seed. And you're planting them every day. The question is, what are you planting? Are you planting seeds of greatness or seeds of defeat? Are you planting seeds of faith or seeds of fear? Because I promise you, whatever you plant, you will harvest. That's not motivation. That's law. That's how creation works. You ever notice how a seed doesn't struggle to become a tree? It doesn't wake up confused. It doesn't need a seminar to figure out its purpose. You plant an orange seed, you get an orange tree. You plant an apple seed, you get an apple tree. The seed knows what's inside of it. The seed trusts the process. The seed doesn't look at the soil and panic. It breaks open, goes down deep, and then rises. That's what you're supposed to do. But you're afraid to break. You're afraid to go through the process. You want the harvest without the burial. You want the crown without the cross. You want the testimony without the test. It doesn't work like that. Every strong mind you admire went through something. Every leader you respect faced opposition. Every winner you celebrate tasted defeat first. They didn't become strong because life was easy. They became strong because they refused to let hardship define them. They used the pressure to build the diamond. They used the fire to purify the gold. They used the pain to sharpen the purpose. And that's what separates the strong from the weak. Weak minds blame. Strong minds learn. Weak minds complain. Strong minds create. Weak minds make excuses. Strong minds make progress. Stop explaining why you can't and start exploring how you can. Stop telling the story of your limitations and start writing the story of your liberation. You've been talking about your problems for so long that you've become best friends with them. You've given them names. You've given them power. You've given them a permanent seat at the table of your mind. Evict them. You have the authority. You have the power. But you have to use it. Nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody is coming to fix your mindset. Nobody is coming to give you confidence. That's your job. That's internal work. And most people won't do it because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to stay a victim than to become a victor. It's easier to blame the past than to build the future. But easy doesn't equal right. Easy doesn't equal purpose. Easy doesn't equal greatness. You know what's easy? Giving up. You know what's easy? Quitting when it gets hard. You know what's easy? Staying mediocre. And that's why everybody's doing it. But you're not everybody. You can't be everybody. Because everybody is struggling. Everybody is frustrated. Everybody is living beneath their potential. You were created to be the head, not the tail. You were created to lend, not to borrow. You were created to lead, not to follow. But you will never walk in that reality until you renew your mind, until you change the way you think, until you destroy the thoughts that are destroying you. Let me tell you something powerful. The enemy of great is not bad. The enemy of great is good. You hear me? Good is the enemy of great because good is comfortable, good is acceptable, good is safe. And most people settle for good because they're afraid of the risk that greatness requires. But you were not made for good. You were made for great. You were made to blow people's minds. You were made to do things that make people ask, how did they do that? You were made to walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere. Not because you're arrogant, but because you're confident. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you know who you are. And when you know who you are, you stop trying to be who you're not. You stop competing. You stop comparing. You stop worrying about what they think, what they said, or what they did. Because you're too focused on your assignment. You're too busy building your dream. You're too committed to your purpose to be distracted by opinions. Opinions are like dust. They're everywhere. They blow around. They settle on everything, but they have no substance. They have no power unless you give them power. And most people give opinions more power than they give their own vision. That's insane. Why would you let someone who's not feeding you, funding you, or following you stop you? Why would you let someone who doesn't even know your name steal your peace? Why would you let someone who's doing nothing with their own life tell you what to do with yours? You wouldn't, unless your mind is weak, unless your mind is not guarded, unless your mind is not trained. Training your mind is like training your body. You don't go to the gym once and expect to be strong. You go every day. You lift, you push, You endure. And over time, you build strength. The same thing applies to your mind. You have to feed it truth every day. You have to expose it to wisdom every day. You have to challenge it with new thoughts every day. Most people wonder why they're not growing. It's because they stopped learning. They stopped reading. They stopped seeking. They think they know enough. But the moment you think you know enough is the moment you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Growth is proof of life. Show me someone who's not growing, and I'll show you someone who's already dead inside. They might still be breathing, but they're not living. Living is expanding. Living is evolving. Living is becoming more than you were yesterday. But you can't become more if you keep thinking the same thoughts. You can't reach a new level with an old mindset. You can't drive a new car with an old engine. Something has to change, and that something is you, not your circumstances, not your environment, not other people, you. You are the common denominator in your life. Every situation you've been in, you were there. Every failure, you were present. Every success, you were involved. So stop looking outside for the problem. The problem is internal. The solution is internal. Everything you need is already inside you. It's just buried under fear, doubt, insecurity, and lies. Dig it up. Do the excavation work. Get rid of the lies you believed. Get rid of the labels people put on you. Get rid of the limitations you accepted. None of that is true. None of that is your identity. None of that is your destiny. Your identity is not your history. Your identity is your possibility. Your identity is what the Creator said about you before you were born. Your identity is the blueprint. And the blueprint says you're fearfully and wonderfully made. The blueprint says you're more than a conqueror. The blueprint says you can do all things. Not some things. Not easy things. All things. But you have to believe it. You have to see it before you see it. You have to call those things that are not as though they are. You have to speak life when everything around you is screaming death. You have to stand firm when the wind is trying to knock you down. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. Building a strong mind is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, because your mind will fight you. Your emotions will resist you. Your environment will challenge you. People will mock you. Circumstances will test you. And there will be days when you want to quit, but you can't, because too much is at stake. Your purpose is at stake. Your family's future is at stake. The generations coming after you are at stake. You think this is just about you. This is bigger than you. There are people connected to your purpose who will never meet you. There are lives that will be changed because you refuse to give up. There are doors that will open because you stayed consistent. Your strength is not just for you. Your mind is not just for you. Your victory is not just for you. You are the answer to someone's prayer. You are the hope someone is waiting for. You are the example someone needs to see. But they'll never see it if you quit. They'll never see it if you stay small. They'll never see it if you keep playing it safe. So stop playing it safe. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop looking for permission. Stop asking if you're ready. You'll never feel ready. You'll never have all the answers. You'll never have all the resources. But you have to start anyway. You have to move with what you have. You have to use what's in your hand. You have to take the first step before the staircase appears. That's called faith. And faith is what moves mountains. Faith is what opens seas. Faith is what turns impossibilities into realities. But faith without works is dead. You can't just believe and do nothing. You have to believe and move. You have to believe and work. You have to believe and execute. Because the world doesn't reward intentions. The world rewards actions. The world rewards those who do something with what they know. You know enough. You've heard enough. You've learned enough. Now it's time to apply. It's time to build. It's time to create. It's time to become the person you've been talking about becoming. And here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody is going to believe for you. Nobody is going to build your dream for you. You are the architect. You are the builder. You are the driver. This is your life, your responsibility, your opportunity. And if you waste it, that's on you. If you throw it away, that's on you. If you let fear win, that's on you. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame your past. You can't blame the system. Yes, those things affected you. Yes, those things shaped you. But they don't define you. They don't control you. They don't determine your destination. You do. Every single day, you get to choose. You get to choose your thoughts. You get to choose your actions. You get to choose your words. You get to choose your circle. You get to choose your focus. And all those choices create your life. So if you don't like your life, change your choices. If you don't like where you are, change your direction. If you don't like who you've become, change your habits. You have that power. You've always had that power. You just forgot. But I'm reminding you today, you are powerful. You are capable. You are destined for greatness. Not because I said it, but because it's the truth. It's written in your design. It's coded in your DNA. It's embedded in your spirit. And the only thing standing between you and your destiny is a decision. The decision to stop making excuses. The decision to stop waiting. The decision to stop doubting. The decision to build a mind so strong that fear has no place to land, so strong that doubt can't take root, so strong that failure becomes feedback, not final. When your mind is strong, you don't break, you bend, you adjust, you adapt, you overcome. When your mind is strong, you don't see obstacles, you see opportunities. You don't see problems, you see possibilities. You don't see endings, you see new beginnings. That's the difference. That's the power. That's the transformation. And when you walk in that kind of mental strength, people will be afraid. Not because you're mean, not because you're aggressive, but because you're unshakable, because you're unmovable, because you can't be bought, broken, or bent, because you know who you are and you refuse to be anything less. That scares people who are still living in fear. That intimidates people who are still making excuses. That threatens people who are still stuck. Not because you're doing anything to them, but because your life is exposing their lies. Your progress is revealing their procrastination. Your peace is highlighting their chaos. And instead of being inspired, they'll try to discourage you. Instead of celebrating you, they'll criticize you. Instead of supporting you, they'll sabotage you. Not everybody is going to clap for you. Not everybody is going to cheer for you. Not everybody is going to be happy for you. And that's okay, because your journey is not about them. Your success is not for their approval. Your destiny is not dependent on their opinion. You're not running their race. You're running yours. And your job is to finish. Your job is to complete the assignment. Your job is to become everything you were created to be. So build that mind. Strengthen that mind. Guard that mind. Feed that mind. Renew that mind. Because everything flows from it. Your words flow from it. Your actions flow from it. Your future flows from it. When your mind is strong, your life is strong. When your mind is focused, your life is focused. When your mind is free, your life is free. And freedom is the goal. Not freedom to do whatever you want, but freedom to become who you were meant to be. Freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, freedom from the past, freedom from other people's expectations, freedom to walk in purpose, power, and peace. That's what's waiting for you. But you have to go get it. Nobody's going to hand it to you. You have to fight for it. You have to work for it. You have to protect it. You have to prioritize it. And when you do, everything changes. When you do, you become unstoppable. When you do, you become the person who inspires others to build their minds. You become the person who breaks generational curses. You become the person who writes a new story. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your opportunity. Don't waste it wishing you were somewhere else. Don't waste it comparing yourself to someone else. Don't waste it waiting for perfect conditions. Use it, maximize it, dominate it. Build a mind so strong that when challenges come, you don't collapse, you conquer. When storms come, you don't hide, you stand. When doubt whispers, you speak louder. When fear knocks, you don't answer. Build a mind so strong that it scares people, not because you're trying to intimidate them, but because your strength reminds them of what they could be. Your discipline reveals what they're missing. Your focus exposes what they're avoiding. Let them be scared. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them talk. While they're talking, you're building. While they're doubting, you're doing. While they're wishing, you're working. And in the end, your life will speak. Your results will testify. Your transformation will preach. And those who doubted you will have no choice but to respect the mind you built. So rise, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel like it. Now, right now, in this moment, make the decision, draw the line, say it out loud. Say, I am building a mind that cannot be broken. I am building a life that cannot be stopped. I am becoming who I was always meant to be. And then live like you mean it, think like you mean it, move like you mean it. Because you do. You were born for this. You were made for this. And the world is waiting for the real you to show up. So show up. Build that mind. Scare some people. Change the world. This is your time. But let me tell you what nobody else will tell you. Building a strong mind means you're going to lose some people. You're going to lose friends who only knew the weak version of you. You're going to lose relationships that were built on your brokenness. You're going to lose connections that thrived on your confusion. And that's going to hurt. That's going to feel lonely. That's going to make you question if you're doing the right thing. But here's what you need to understand. Everybody can't go where you're going. Everybody doesn't have the capacity for your next level. Everybody doesn't have the vision to see what you see. And if you drag people into a season they're not prepared for, you'll destroy them and delay yourself. Some people are assigned to your past, not your future. Some people were meant to teach you a lesson, not stay for a lifetime. Some people were in your life to help you discover who you're not, so you could become who you are. And when their assignment is complete, you have to let them go. Not with bitterness, not with anger, but with gratitude and grace. Because holding on to what's supposed to leave will stop what's supposed to come. You can't receive new relationships while you're clinging to dead ones. You can't attract your tribe while you're entertaining your distractions. You can't walk into your purpose while you're dragging your past. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but we've been through so much together. But they know me. But we have history. History is not the same as destiny. Just because someone walked with you for 5 years doesn't mean they're assigned to your next 5. Just because someone was there doesn't mean they're supposed to stay there. Seasons change. People change. Assignments change. And the mind that's strong enough to acknowledge that is the mind that's ready for greatness. Because weak minds hold on out of fear. Strong minds let go out of wisdom. Weak minds need everybody to validate them. Strong minds are comfortable being misunderstood. You will be misunderstood. Let me say that again. You will be misunderstood. When you start thinking differently, people will think something is wrong with you. When you start moving differently, people will think you've changed. And you know what? They're right. You have changed. But change is not the problem. Stagnation is the problem. Staying the same in a world that's constantly evolving is the problem. You were designed to grow. You were designed to expand. You were designed to level up. And every time you level up, you're going to leave something behind. You're going to leave behind old habits. You're going to leave behind limiting beliefs. You're going to leave behind toxic environments. And yes, you're going to leave behind certain people. That's not cruel. That's called progression. That's called evolution. That's called honoring your assignment. Because your assignment is too important to be compromised by people who don't have the same fire. Your assignment is too valuable to be delayed by people who are comfortable with average. Your assignment is too urgent to be stopped by people who want to keep you small so they can feel big. Listen to me carefully. Small-minded people will always try to dim your light. They won't do it directly. They'll do it subtly. They'll question your decisions. They'll doubt your vision. They'll remind you of your past failures. They'll tell you to be realistic. They'll tell you to slow down. They'll tell you that you're doing too much. And if you're not careful, if your mind is not fortified, if your vision is not clear, you'll listen to them. You'll start second guessing yourself. You'll start playing small again. You'll start hiding your gifts. You'll start apologizing for your ambition. You'll start shrinking to make other people comfortable. Stop shrinking. Stop dimming your light. Stop apologizing for being exactly who you were created to be. If your light makes them uncomfortable, that's their problem, not yours. Your job is not to make everyone comfortable. Your job is to fulfill your purpose. Your job is to maximize your potential. Your job is to become the fullest version of yourself. And when you do that, some people are going to love it. They're going to celebrate you. They're going to champion you. They're going to push you higher. But some people are going to hate it. They're going to criticize you. They're going to gossip about you. They're going to wish you would fail. Not because of who you are, but because of who they're not. Not because of what you did to them, but because of what they didn't do for themselves. Hurt people hurt people. Broken people try to break people. Unfulfilled people try to stop fulfilled people. That's just the reality. But you can't let their pain become your prison. You can't let their brokenness become your burden. You can't let their mediocrity become your standard. Your standard is excellence. Your standard is integrity. Your standard is greatness. And the only way to maintain that standard is to guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Your life literally depends on what you allow into your mind. Your success depends on what you permit to take root in your thoughts. Your destiny depends on what you choose to believe about yourself. So choose wisely. Choose truth over lies. Choose faith over fear. Choose action over excuses. Choose growth over comfort. Choose purpose over popularity. Choose long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. Because everything is a choice. Everything. You chose to wake up today. You chose to read this. You chose to listen. Now choose to apply it. Choose to live it. Choose to become it. Because knowledge without application is just information. And information without transformation is just entertainment. You don't need more information. You need transformation. You need revelation. You need activation. You need to wake up from the sleep you've been in. You need to snap out of the trance that society put you in. You need to break free from the matrix that told you to get a job, pay bills, and die. There's more. There's so much more. There's purpose. There's meaning. There's impact. There's legacy. There's a life that you haven't even touched yet because you've been too afraid to reach for it. You've been too comfortable with survival when you were built for dominance. Survival is not success. Survival is barely making it. Survival is just enough, and just enough is not your portion. Abundance is your portion. Overflow is your portion. More than enough is your portion. But you'll never walk in abundance with a poverty mindset. You'll never experience overflow with a scarcity mentality. You'll never live in more than enough while thinking there's not enough. Your mind creates your reality. What you think about, you bring about. What you meditate on, you manifest. What you focus on, you attract. That's not some mystical secret. That's how the mind works. That's how creation works. That's how life works. If you think defeat, you'll experience defeat. If you think lack, you'll experience lack. If you think limitation, you'll experience limitation. But if you think victory, if you think abundance, if you think possibility, your life will begin to align with those thoughts. Your actions will match your thinking. Your results will reflect your beliefs. So what are you thinking about? What are you meditating on? What are you speaking over your life? Because whatever it is, that's what you're creating. That's what you're building. That's what you're becoming. You want to know why some people succeed and others don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's mindset. The person who succeeds is the person who refuses to quit. The person who wins is the person who refuses to give up. The person who achieves is the person who refuses to let circumstances dictate their decisions. Circumstances are temporary. Your purpose is permanent. Circumstances change. Your calling doesn't. Circumstances fluctuate. Your identity remains. So stop letting temporary situations make permanent decisions for you. Stop letting a bad day convince you to quit. Stop letting one failure make you believe you're a failure. You're not a failure. You failed. There's a difference. Failing is an event. Failure is an identity. And you don't have to wear that identity. You don't have to carry that label. You don't have to accept that definition. You get to redefine yourself. You get to rewrite your story. You get to create a new narrative. And the pen is in your hand. Nobody else is writing your story. You are. So stop giving other people the pen. Stop letting your past write your future. Stop letting your pain write your chapters. Write from your purpose. Write from your power. Write from your potential. Write a story so incredible that people won't believe it's yours. Write a story so powerful that it inspires generations. Write a story so authentic that it gives others permission to write theirs. Because that's what a strong mind does. It doesn't just transform you, it transforms everyone around you. Your strength gives others permission to be strong. Your courage gives others permission to be brave. Your authenticity gives others permission to be real. Your success gives others permission to dream again. You're not just building a mind for yourself, you're building a mind that will impact multitudes. You're building a mind that will shift cultures. You're building a mind that will change the trajectory of your entire bloodline. What you're doing right now matters. What you're choosing right now counts. What you're believing right now is shaping your tomorrow. So believe big, think big, dream big, act big, because you serve a big God who gave you a big purpose in a big world with big opportunities. There's nothing small about you. There's nothing average about you. There's nothing ordinary about you. You are extraordinary. You are exceptional. You are phenomenal. And the moment you start seeing yourself the way your Creator sees you is the moment everything shifts. The moment you start believing what was spoken over you before you were born is the moment your life explodes into purpose. The moment you start walking in the authority you were given is the moment hell panics and heaven celebrates. This is not hype. This is truth. This is not motivation. This is activation. This is not a speech. This is a wake-up call. And you can either hit snooze and go back to sleep, or you can get up and get to work. The choice is yours. It's always been yours. Nobody can make it for you. Nobody can want it for you. Nobody can believe it for you. This is between you and your destiny. This is between you and your purpose. This is between you and the life you are meant to live. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to start making moves? Are you going to keep complaining, or are you going to start creating? Are you going to keep waiting, or are you going to start walking? The world is not waiting for perfect people. The world is waiting for committed people. The world is waiting for people who are willing to build their minds, strengthen their resolve, and step into their greatness despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the opposition. Be that person. Build that mind. Live that life. You were born for this moment. You were made for this season. You were created for this assignment. Now go fulfill it. Go complete it. Go dominate it. Build a mind so strong it scares people. Not because you're trying to intimidate anyone, but because your strength, your focus, your determination, and your refusal to quit is a reminder of what's possible. You are the proof that transformation is real. You are the evidence that change is possible. You are the testimony that purpose wins. Now go be great. Not someday, not when you're ready. Now, today, this moment, your time is now.